Good morning, everyone. It is 6:02 in the region. You are listening to That's What They Said on WJOB 1230 AM 104.7 FM in Hammond, Indiana. And you're also watching live on YouTube. So good morning, everyone, and happy St. Patrick's Day. So we're going to do a quick traffic and weather, then we're going to hear from our sponsors, and then we should be getting started with the show. But first, let's take a look at weather. It is cold this morning. Today we are seeing highs of 27 degrees, lows of 23, breezy and quite cold with partial sunshine. On Wednesday, highs of 43, lows of 34, flurries early in the morning, otherwise mainly cloudy, not as cold, and roads could be slippery for the morning commutes. Thursday, highs of 54, lows of 37, a little rain in the morning, otherwise clouds yielding into the sun. Let's take a look at our traffic, and traffic in the Northwest regions, honestly, it's all looking pretty good. I'm not seeing any traffic, maybe a little bit right as you get like deeper into downtown Chicago, but Bishop Ford, actually no, right here. We got a bit of traffic on the Bishop Ford headed into the city right there at the connector, and there doesn't show any like warnings of accidents or disabled vehicles anywhere, just traffic. So be sure to keep that in mind as you're headed into the city. So we're going to hear from our sponsors really fast, and then we will be back with the show.
Looking for a hands-on career with real opportunities? Plumbers Local 210 is hosting an open house and Indiana statewide apprentice competition on March 18th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 2901 East 83rd Place in Maryville. Come see live demonstrations and watch top apprentices from across Indiana compete while showcasing the skills that power our infrastructure. Explore career paths in pipe fitting, welding, and HVAC service. For more info, call 219-942-7224 or email Shauna at plu210.org.
We're back. MX brought up an interesting topic, a topic we've been talking about before, which is the SAVE Act and the idea of creating a national standard when it comes to voter ID. So opponents argue that having a national standard is un-American because it's a state right to run elections. But when you think about it, this day and age, we have lots of national standards. So the argument that, well, you're taking away state rights if you don't allow the states to determine whether somebody should have an ID or not, runs kind of in runs up against a lot of other arguments. I mean, we have a national standard when it comes to showing IDs for a lot of other things. So why not have an ID when it comes to voting? 845-1100 is the number to call. Love to get your comments on that this morning. Personally, I think the SAVE Act.
Tech Credit Union supports the essential role of union labor in building strong communities. That's why we offer hassle-free banking, financial empowerment, and a commitment to your success. Save for the future, handle life's challenges, and trust a partner that stands by hardworking union members. Tech Credit Union, the better option for you and your money. Visit techcu.org or call 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union, supporting union families every step of the way.
Summer's coming, and Deep River Water Park is taking applications for all positions. We have jobs both inside and out for all ages that offer great benefits. Free admission on your day off for you and a friend. Free uniforms, paid training, make new friends, flexible scheduling, and more. To apply, just go to deepriverwaterpark.com and you're on your way to a summer of rewarding fun.
Deep River Water Park. It's simply splash-tastic.
Introducing Powers Health, a health system with a new name and a strong legacy of caring for families in our community. One with a tradition of advanced specialized services and a vision for the future. One with a commitment to medical excellence and compassionate care. Everything we do, everything we believe, powers health.
You're tuning to WJOB AM 1230, 104.7 FM. It's That's What They Said here on Tuesdays with myself, Verly Suggs, my co-host, Michelle Quinn, and Adriana Alvarez.
Good morning, everyone.
Adriana, you did not get the memo.
What memo?
Now, I know you were busy this past weekend.
Yeah, we saw
in
those
Chicago,
pictures.
where they were painting the river green.
Yes.
But today is actually St. Patrick's Day.
I know, I did not
and
wear...
you did not wear green.
All of my green outfits...
you wore them all
I
weekend,
wore them all
Trashed
weekend.
over the weekend.
Yeah, I wore them all weekend. I didn't even bring my green coat. I have my regular one. It's cold outside. But yes, my keys are green. There we go.
Okay,
My
great.
keys.
So you have
My
some
lanyard
green
on
over
my
there.
keys is green, yes. I got something.
Okay, so we have the luck of the Irish here in the studio today. And
I was going to say, move your mic towards a little bit more towards you.
try and keep it
There
on
we
the
go.
end, but I'm not.
I was going to
It's
say,
a
you
little
can move
high,
it up
too.
and
I
down.
need to bring
Yeah.
it down a little. I'll do that on the break so that I'm
Yeah,
not
look at
fumbling
these.
with things.
I haven't been here for a minute, so I'm looking at these microphones, and I'm like, wow,
Look
fancy.
at us.
Yeah, Michelle's got hers right at the right angle, too. I guess somebody tall was sitting over here.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. Funk. I like it a
Yep.
little low. Yeah.
So we already did traffic and weather. I did that
Yes,
before.
I heard you.
You guys did come in. So I don't think we have any updates on that. The only kind of traffic that I was seeing was that there's just a bit of traffic right there on the Bishop Ford headed into the city, but it's not caused by anything. It just starts at East 113th Street all the way up until I-57 South. So we'll keep an eye on that as we are doing the show.
Well, it's
Okay.
a lot better today than it was yesterday. Yesterday,
Traffic
traffic
was
was
terrible.
horrible. The weather was horrible. Road conditions were horrible. So today it's cold, not slick like yesterday, but
Oh, gosh,
we're
yeah.
expecting a little warmer weather coming up this weekend. So we have something to look forward to.
And we shouldn't be surprised. We yell about this every year, but
Yes, we
come
do.
on, this is not fair.
I know we're used to Easter snow, and April 5th is Easter.
Yeah.
So let's hope that the Easter snow came early because we've had Easter in March, right?
Sure.
Yeah, so
yeah.
we shall see. But it's good to be back
Yep.
here with my co-host. And Adriana, we're just going to start with you and a recap of your weekend.
Yes, so I went downtown to Chicago for St. Patrick's Day weekend. It was actually my friend Matt's birthday.
Okay.
He turned 22
Nice.
on the 14th. So we asked him, what do you want to do? And he said, I want to go to the city for St. Patrick's Day weekend. So that's exactly what we did. We went... we got there around 9:30 in the morning,
Okay.
and we stayed down there in the city because I was like, guys, if we are being out from the very early morning until sunrise the next day, I don't want to drive home. So we stayed
Sure.
in.
So you
stayed
got a
in the
hotel room?
Yeah, so we stayed in the
Smart.
hotel because I was like, I can't drive home.
That way you could drink into your heart's content
Yes.
and not have to drive.
There we go. But yeah, we did the bar crawl in Navy Pier.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty fun, and I think my favorite bar that we went to was the Rooftop Bar, and we were up there. And it was also funny because they had like the signature St. Patrick's Day drinks.
Okay.
And I think what every bar did that was the same was that Miller Lite was the green beer of choice.
Yeah.
So I'm not a beer drinker. I like my my stuff to taste like juice and to
Yes.
not taste like
So
anything.
you could have had a mint julep.
Yeah, something around that. But
Grasshopper.
but so the rooftop bar was my favorite because not only do you get to see the water and the skyline of the city, we were out there taking pictures, and one of my friends, she was like, let's go take pictures. I'm like, it is cold, and it starts snowing.
Right.
I was like, okay, so that's so fun. But we went. We were around Navy Pier for the majority of the day. We didn't go down to where majority of the festivities were happening on the streets of Chicago by like River North downtown area. We kind of just stayed right there at Navy Pier. Then, because we all left our cars in a parking garage overnight, and we did not.
So
move
you took
them.
multiple cars. You didn't just all kind of carpool
because
together.
there was about good like 10 of us.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Yes. So when we went down to the city, we left all of our luggage in the cars because check-in wasn't until 4 o'clock.
You have to ask for an early check.
Yes, we could have, but I think our bar crawl started at 11. So it was kind of funny to get everybody from Navy Pier back to the parking garage to get our luggage, then back to the hotels. We took like a 3-hour nap, and then we did it all again the next night. the next day.
Fantastic.
And we had a lot of fun. My friend definitely had a great birthday. He loved
Excellent.
it. And the next morning, we all drove home, and it was funny because I woke up and I felt great. I didn't feel terrible or sick or anything like that. But I'm driving. They're like, "You okay?" I'm just like, "It's just bright," because I had my glasses. I couldn't put my sunglasses on because glasses over glasses.
Right.
That's just horrible to do. But it was a great weekend. So I had a lot of fun, and I was excited for my friend's birthday. So now I have 2 more friends' birthdays. I have one on the 22nd and one on the 30th.
So are they
Excellent.
being celebrated here locally or in Chicago
The
as well?
30th one is being celebrated locally. I asked him, I was like, "What do you want to do?" He's like, something local. I said, okay.
Okay.
And then I asked my other one on the 22nd. He's like, "I don't really celebrate my birthday." I'm like, "I don't want to hear it." What
Nope.
are you doing?
You are now.
Yeah,
the
what are we
party
doing?
girl.
He's probably listening right now, and he's like laughing. I'm just like, "Yep, we are doing something. Whatever your heart desires. If you just want to go out to eat, we'll go out to eat. If you want to go to the bars, to the clubs, we'll go do that. Or if you just honestly just want to have all of your friends together and just say, hey guys, just hang out. We can just hang out. But everybody deserves to be celebrated on their birthdays."
Well, that's wonderful.
Sure.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that's the city of Chicago.
Yes.
Okay.
Because a lot of people have fear of going into Chicago.
Yeah, they do. They do now, but that's of course, we all know why that is, because Chicago's a terrible place and everything, and
And
there's
everyone's
murders.
leaving there and moving to Indiana because Chicago's so horrible.
Yeah.
Did you feel unsafe, Adriana?
No, every time that I do go into Chicago, I'm very hyper aware of my surroundings, and it's not it. Yes, there is that aspect of there's crime everywhere. There is that aspect, and that you see the headlines, you see all of that stuff, news. There's something always happening in Chicago. I see that. I understand that.
Because it's a big city
Yeah, there's
and lots
over a
of
million
people, and
It's a population of over 1 million. So I understand that, and that's a big aspect of it. And I am very just hyper aware of my surroundings because there's a lot more people. There's a lot more places to be at. And going into the city, I make sure that I'm never going just by myself. I always make sure to go, as I said, I was with 10 people. And at that point in time, it was like everybody was like making sure that everybody had like a buddy system.
Sure.
And I told my one friend that, actually, no, I told my 2 friends, I'm like, I'm responsible for 1 and 2 people. And also I just always make sure that, like, okay, somebody has my location. So somebody knows exactly where I'm at. My parents always ask me for proof of life, which is me sending a video saying, okay, here's everybody. We're all here. We're all alive. We're all safe. And if I ever need something, make the proper calls and all
Right.
that if we are able to.
Now, do you ever see yourself living in a big city like that?
Yeah. That is one aspect I've always wanted to do, is to live in a big city and just have that city life for at least a few years of my life. And then of course, like everybody has that, okay, well, you want to be able to own a home and have just like kind of a property of your own, and to be able to later in the future, if you want a husband and children and all that stuff, you
Right.
can do that. And I've heard that it is kind of hard to do that in a very big city. And especially if, like, my thing is, I think of it as like, okay, well, if I have a dog, they need a yard. You can't do that in the city.
That's why you walk your dog.
You walk your dog.
Yeah.
Take him
but
to
if
the
they
dog
want to go
park.
outside and play, like I could just be like, okay, open the door right there to my house, instead of like, okay, well, I got to suit you up. And then also, what if it's like super, super cold and they don't like wearing boots or jackets or anything
All
like
right,
that?
so
Like,
you're definitely not a city girl.
not for myself. Yes, I can do it by myself, but if I have to take care of others,
Do you know that most of the people there have dogs and they manage very well?
Oh, yeah,
You see
no,
them-
I know that. I'm
and they
one
have
where
families pushing baby strollers up and down the street and
Yes.
living
Taking
in their
them in the bars,
high rises
yeah.
and
No, see,
Yeah.
I'm one. I see the dogs in the city, and I have to restrain myself from wanting to go up to every single dog owner. Like, can I please pet your dog? Your dog is beautiful.
That's me too. So yeah, I do that all the time.
But yeah, any city is going to be dangerous. Yes, there is a lot of concerns, but as long as you are just very hyper aware, very vigilant of your surroundings, and you go with people that you trust and everything like that, your safety is definitely heightened. But I'm not over here saying that nothing could happen. Anything can happen, even if you do have all of those awareness factors, and if you are with people.
Right.
as like you said, it can happen anywhere. So today is election day in Chicago.
It is. I'm excited. Man, those ads were getting nasty.
So I don't really look at local TV, so I don't get to see those ads, thank goodness. And on the radio, I just heard them to a degree.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But not to the degree that people on TV saw them.
Yeah, we don't. I will say, other than the Dernal Griffin ads of a few years ago, that, you know, they
And
just.
you're talking about for Senate when Mike Griffin
Right,
and
Dan, yeah.
were running against each other.
Yeah, I haven't. You never. Rarely do I ever see the ads get, you know, it's, you get your flyer in the mail and it's, oh, you know, touting my accomplishments, and nobody's ever digging at each other. And man, they were starting to get mean.
Well, I mean, they have some very contentious races going
They
on,
do.
and very lucrative races, and that
Yeah.
would be the Senate seat, of course,
Yeah,
that's being vacated by Senator Durbin.
yeah, and then there's House District 9 is another big one. That, because is that Schakowsky that's leaving that one, or
Okay.
I think.
And then also you have the Republican governor's race
Yeah,
going on. That's
Yeah,
the long
bumper-
shot race.
bumper crop there. Yeah, that guy, the guy that ran against Pritzker the last time, he's trying to get back in, and then some other I don't even
Yeah,
I don't even
that guy
know,
Ted. But so it's going to be interesting. Of course, with Chicago being right next door, we kind of feel that we're part of what goes on over there.
Right,
We're
right.
part of that same metropolitan planning district, but also who's in office there does affect us. Right now, the Bears are on the table, and they're not making any
we're
decisions
still on that, huh?
there.
Yeah.
we're still on there. And of course, they're waiting till the election's over to make an offer to the Bears of what they'll possibly do, you know, in regard to taxes.
right.
So it's going to be interesting. I'm sure they're waiting it with bated breath over in the city of Hammond, here where we are right now, to see what the decision's going to be made. We shall see. Let's go to the phone lines. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning,
Good
ladies.
morning.
That way I won't mispronounce one of your names, because women do get very angry when you mispronounce. So I'll say, good morning, ladies.
Do men not get upset when
and
you
happy
mispronounce your name?
There's one I might mispronounce, and I don't want to make anybody mad this morning. It's St. Patrick's Day. Enjoyed it. Hey, Burley, I got a question about airplanes and flying stuff. Okay. Last week I heard on the news that Southwest is pulling out of Midway. They're not going to be flying in there no
That's
more.
not correct.
What kind of
See, that is
what
not.
kind of
Hold on a second, Mike. Before you go further with fake news.
No.
Let me correct you before you go any further.
Okay.
Midway
okay.
is not the airport they are pulling out of. They are pulling out of O'Hare Airport.
Oh,
Midway is their
they're
home
pulling out of
base.
O'Hare.
They are not pulling out of Midway.
Oh, I mistook took it. So is that going to cause any problems of flying?
No, because they're not pulling out of Midway.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, like at O'Hare then, when they pull out of there, is that going to cause a problem with, more people flying out or anything?
Well, people who fly Southwest will only have that ability to fly out of Midway. They will no longer be flying out of O'Hare. That was new for Southwest, to actually get those slots and fly out of O'Hare. And apparently it works best for them to keep all their hub together at Midway and not split the flying. So I'm sure they made the decision based on their seats and the connections that people make and all the things that go into, operating out of an airport.
Yeah, okay, well, okay, good. I'm glad you corrected me, because I did, I thought I heard that. I was like, huh? Because, I passed by and I had a relative live close to Midway, and I always seen them Southwest going up in the air out of there. But another thing, that's all I want to ask. I'm sorry. I'm glad you straightened me out on that, but another good news is I've been going back and forth with Medical Eye Associates and my retina doctor. Mm-hmm. And yesterday, finally, I went to the Medical Eye Associates, and good news is that, okay, tomorrow I have to go get my eyes measured, but April they do my right eye surgery, and then in May they do my left eye, and then everything will be back to normal.
Good, that's wonderful. That's cool. Great news.
I can see what you guys look like right now. I know the person on the left has green on, but I can't. Is your
I have on green, but it's darker green. It's more of a hunter green.
Yeah, she's.
But it's green all the same.
Yep.
Yeah, but hooray! Finally, things are going to get done. And my one problem I had, the disease is all gone. All the medications, I'm still taking it. The doctor wants me to take it for like 6 months to make sure everything's gone.
Okay.
I'm very nice and healthy now.
Excellent.
And I just was curious about the airplane stuff, so I'm going to let you ladies go and have a nice St. Patrick's Day, and try to drink something that's green. Coffee. Can they ever turn coffee into green?
They do have some iced coffees that they put matcha in, and that turns it green. So they might do a matcha foam or iced coffee or something.
Yeah, that would be a lot of caffeine.
You ladies, and all the listeners
thank you
and
so
everybody
much
out
for your
there.
call, Mike.
Have a good surgery.
Definitely. So I should have had green tea today, But then that would have been Japanese,
Yeah.
So were you saying we need to take a break? Okay,
cool.
So we are going to take a break, and then we'll be back with the continuation of That's What They Said.
Life's biggest challenges don't come with a warning. When legal issues arise, whether it's a car accident, personal injury, criminal charge, or representing you before municipal boards, you need a trusted advocate on your side. At Westland & Bennett, we listen first because your story matters. We provide strategic, personalized legal solutions to protect your rights, your freedom, and your future. Peace of mind starts with a conversation. Call 219-440-7550 today for a free consultation.
Ennigenberg Roofing offers roof replacements, repairs, and new construction. CertainTeed Shingle Master certified, our goal is to treat every customer and project with respect, courtesy, and honesty. Serving Northwest Indiana for over 63 years, contact us for a free roof replacement estimate at 219-365-8879. Mention this ad and receive a free upgrade to CertainTeed Pro Shingles. Ennigenberg Roofing, 219-365-8879.
Do you like to work with your hands, creating something from nothing? Then think about Laborers Local 41. You'll get 432 hours of apprenticeship training, all while earning a wage with benefits and incurring no student debt. You'll travel to different job sites, learn tons of skills, and in a lot of cases, be the first one on and last one off a job site. It all starts at laborers41.com.
For over 100 years, Roofers Local 26 has been keeping Northwest Indiana dry and safe. Since 1919, our highly trained members have built a reputation for skills, safety, and reliability. With a 4-year apprenticeship and certifications in OSHA safety, first aid, and CPR, we deliver quality you can trust. When you need roofing done right, choose Roofers Local 26, protecting what matters most for over a century. For more information, visit www.roofers26.com.
And welcome back to That's What They Said here on WJOB AM 1230, 104.7 FM. Oscars.
Yeah.
We have to get an update on traffic and
Okay.
weather. That's right, things can change.
Maybe that's my microphone. That's not my microphone.
That's why
maybe.
people tune in.
This one? Kind of. Okay. I think this one's my mic. Here we go.
We're good?
Yes, we are. I just had to make sure because of all the wires back here. So let's take a look at weather for today. So weather, it's cold. As we saw.
Real cold.
We went from 60 to snow. So currently right now at the Track and Van Sales Studios, it is 18 degrees. Today we are seeing highs of 27 degrees and lows of 23. Breezy and quite cold with partial sunshine. And we may get some snow coating to an inch tomorrow. But, yeah.
Why?
Because, welcome to the Midwest.
I know.
My yard is covered in snow.
Yeah, mine is too.
It's just, what's a little more, right?
Yeah, just a little bit more. Just sprinkle on just to finish out the winter. But Wednesday, we are seeing highs of 43 degrees, lows of 34. Flurries in the early morning. Otherwise, mainly cloudy, not as cold. And roads can be slippery for the morning commutes. And we're expected to see that snow between the hours of 3 a.m. and 8 a.m. Thursday, highs of 54 degrees, lows of 37. A little rain in the morning, otherwise cloudy, yielding to some sun. But don't worry, we're getting those 60-degree weathers back this weekend.
Okay.
Which I'm actually pretty excited for because I'm going to go visit my friend further into Indiana, in Muncie, Indiana, at Ball State.
Yes.
So I got to ask her, I was like, okay, is your 60-degree weather the same as ours over here, or is it warmer or colder? I got to figure that out. But let's take a look at traffic. So traffic in the Northwest region is looking pretty good. 65 going north and south is looking good. 80 going east and west. 90 going east and west is looking good. We're going to see a little bit of traffic here on the Chicago Skyways. Just a little bit of stop and go, nothing too bad. Lakeshore Drive is looking good. We're seeing a bit of heavy traffic right there on the connector on the Bishop Ford and Dan Ryan, right as you get into the city area. Then moving forward into the city, downtown Chicago, headed west, is looking a bit heavier in traffic. Stevenson going north right there on South Central Avenue is where you're going to see a bit of traffic, but it'll clear up from that area. Eisenhower going east right there on First Avenue, you're going to see a bit of heavy traffic, but the rest of it's looking pretty good. Going west is looking good. We have a disabled vehicle on the right shoulder on the Kennedy I-90-94 west at California Avenue, exit 46A, and that's creating a little bit of traffic, as well as an accident on the exit ramp, Kennedy I-90 west at Canefield Road, exit 80. That was updated and reported about 5 minutes ago, so you may have a bit of traffic right there, especially in the Rosemont area by the airports. But other than that, we are looking pretty good.
Fantastic. Well, it's going to be a lot of traffic, I'm sure, as people head over to Chicago to Manny's.
Okay. Oh.
They said Manny's normally serves about 500 sandwiches in a day, and for St. Patrick's Day, sometimes they serve about 4,000 corned beef sandwiches.
Because I was
Can you imagine?
As I was coming in, I'm like, where do I go for corned beef?
People are talking about Big Frank's sausage. I actually pulled my corned beef out. I bought one in Strax and put it in the freezers. So I pulled it out, and it's sitting in my sink thawing out right now. I was having a tongue tie there right there. Sink thawing out, you know.
That would have been the best segue because that's actually our next sponsor ad.
So yeah,
we'll
they're saying it's great at Big Frank's.
Okay.
So go for it.
All right. I have to go over there because I remember, I'm going to date myself, Star Deli in Munster.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. Their sandwiches were so good.
So where was the Star Deli?
Star Deli was on Ridge Road, up near Homan Avenue in the strip mall where, like, Shoop's and, those two, it was in one of those.
Okay.
I think it became Mishkanut, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was a great deli. Okay. So,
yeah, I don't really know any other delis around here. I mean, Butterfingers, they're going to close the Munster location, and I mean,
yeah, I wonder.
People have been going there for years.
Yeah, I think that's where Butterfingers started. I always go to the one in Highland, but yeah, I remember Butterfingers.
So I don't really know delis here locally.
I mean, there's McAllister's, but that's kind of a chain.
That's not what I consider a deli. I want a place where I can go get some chopped liver. There's nothing like that. That's what's our big thing in New York. And
yeah, that's a New York thing. But...
Yeah, but there's nothing around here that I can find that. Even Manny's, when it comes to that.
Delis, let us know in the chat or call in 219-845-1100.
Yeah, help us out.
For sure. So you will get you'll be by Big Frank's today. We can let Stan know, Celebrity Michelle, of That's What They Said. And the Chicago Tribune Company, Post-Tribune. Ryder will be there to get her corned beef and cabbage. And
No, I know Stan very well, so.
Great. I don't eat corned beef, but I will cook it for my husband. But I'll eat the cabbage. I love cabbage.
That's good, too. That's good, too.
Yeah.
So the Oscars... That was my celebration this weekend, going over to my besties and watching the Oscars and doing all that. But
so give us a recap on the Oscars.
Well, my boyfriend Michael B. Jordan got the Best Actor.
Yes, he did.
They got a lot of wins for Sinners, right?
Well, they were up for 16, but they didn't get as many
as they.
I was hoping, for a giant sweep, but they did not. So they got Best Actor. I think it was best screenplay.
I was going to say, was it screenplay?
Yeah.
I can actually look that up right now.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Take it to
the awards. Total wins, they won 4.
Okay.
So let's see here. Best Actor, Michael B. Jordan won for his lead performance. Best Original Screenplay, Ryan Coogler secured this award. Best Cinematography, they won. And then the nominations, film was had a record for setting with 16 total nominations. So they had, including Best Picture. So Best Actor, Screenplay, Cinematography, and it's not showing me the last one. if Best Picture and Cinematography are the same thing. It's not showing me the last one. But, yeah, so they won 4 out of 16.
Yeah. Which...
He should have gotten 2 then because he played 2 roles.
Exactly.
Move your mic towards you.
Exactly. So, yeah, that was fun watching, the fashion stuff. That's
the main reason people watch the Oscars.
Yeah.
To see what people wear.
Yeah.
And some of those fashions are just so outlandish. It's like, after you see the pictures the next morning, do you want to kill the designer that put you in that, or the stylist that said that was what was going to really be your breakout appearance?
It depends. I didn't see... People were really complaining about Danielle Brooks's look. And she was, it was beautiful, the color.
Now, do we have a picture that we can put up there?
I can pull one up. You guys got talking to your microphone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
So we need more sensitive mics because I'm used to a mic that can just pick up instead of me having to talk directly into a mic.
What? I can't pick up a mic? What?
I don't want a mouthful of a mic. Oh, never mind. Let me stop.
Burley.
Drink my coffee.
It's too early for that.
I was gonna say, but I was gonna say where your mic is on that side, put it on the other side of you now.
Okay.
There you go. That'll be easier. And then Michelle, you do the same.
Okay, like this?
No, other way. Because you two are looking at each other. So
then,
yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Michelle.
Hey, how's it going? How's it going, friend?
It's good to see you, girlfriend.
So, anyway.
Right. So who am I looking up?
Danielle Brooks.
Danielle Brooks. Okay. As I'm knocking everything over. It's great. But so
I have to confess, I did not watch the Oscars.
Okay, that's all right.
I just am at a point where I prefer to watch reruns of Game of Thrones.
Oh, jeez.
I stopped at the Red Wedding and I gotta go back.
I know. I just had to watch, when Aura killed Frey again. So it's like, I'm kind of like a person who likes revenge. So so the scenes where she gets revenge, it really strike me well.
All right, we got the picture here. So
okay,
this is who we're
all right.
at.
So first of all,
so is she the star from Orange?
Yes, she was from.
Black.
Yeah, she was.
She was from Orange Is the New Black. I love that series. I watched it entirely.
Yep.
And what was the complaint about her outfit?
Well,
it's a little high. That's it.
Yeah. So part of it was the fact that it's Star Trek versus like Barbarella, and it's a lot. But the first thing that I caught was look at that color on her. She looks spectacular.
I think that color looks phenomenal.
Yeah, that's the first.
We could have done the Oscar night
exactly.
Who used to do that? Joan Rivers and her
Melissa,
daughter.
Yeah,
yes. So
we could be
that.
the E-team.
Yes.
E-team of Northwest Indiana.
Okay. So, no, that dress looks gorgeous on her.
Yeah.
The color is very
fire. Exactly. But, people were making fun of her because it's like, what's going on with this? It looks like, William Shatner and someone had, I guess, and that the sash.
What was the I was going to say the sash is the issue.
Yeah, that they don't understand. What, did they not have enough fabric for the dress? So they just, it was brutal, but I think she looks phenomenal.
Yeah,
so.
I would give her a thumbs up.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
Yeah. So were there any surprises for Oscar night?
I'm trying to think if there was.
The only one that I heard was that Timothée Chalamet did not get any awards.
Oh, he got shut out, and it was beautiful. It was, because, he appears to be an actor who, and he's talented. Of course he's talented. Obviously he wouldn't be getting the roles that he gets and stuff if he wasn't talented. Mm-hmm. But he's also become super cocky. And, so the big controversy going into the Oscars was he made the comment that nobody cares about opera and ballet anymore.
I'm sorry, I'm fighting for those Nutcracker tickets every year.
Right.
Because they are so expensive.
Right. So he makes this comment, and so it was kind of, they Conan O'Brien, who, by the way, was amazing as the host.
I heard he was amazing.
He was really good. And, all the right notes of, poking at people when they needed poking and, poking at, our current hellscape and everything.
No smackdowns or anything like that. No violence on the stage.
No, there wasn't this year. It was great. So, but yeah, they took, there were several digs about the opera and ballet. And then during the Sinners, they could have stopped, for me, they could have stopped it. The Sinners performance, the musical performance. They had Buddy Guy and a whole bunch of people. A friend of mine.
Didn't he have leather overalls? I'm trying to think.
I don't know, but he had Doc Martens like I have.
Oh, okay.
His shoes, he had two-tone black and white wingtips. And I'm like, I have those accepted.
Oh, my goodness.
So I was very excited.
So they weren't Florsheim shoes.
No, they weren't Florsheim.
That's what Donald Trump's been buying his staff.
Oh, my God.
His cabinet.
So if you've been, you're on my Facebook and stuff, or both of you guys are, and you've seen me every day, I find a new Marco meme. Yeah, where he's living in a shoe and he's piloting across the Delaware and all kinds of, I can't with that.
And then they said Florsheim is what they're suing over these tariffs, that they want their money back.
Right.
And then the president goes out and buys their shoes for everybody.
Yeah, and I mean...
What did he buy the women?
No,
he didn't buy them Louboutins?
Oh, come on. Okay, well, first of all, Florsheim, and I was asking a friend of mine, because, way, way, way back in the day, I worked in the Highland Department Store shoe department.
Right.
And I had asked him, I'm like, did we carry Florsheims for, because that's why it stuck out to me.
It's only a woman's shoe, and they started in Chicago, I believe.
Okay. And he said that, yeah, we did at one time carry Florsheims. And, and then they eventually, it was, Dexter and Nunn Bush were.
I didn't know you and John Battaglia had that much in common. But he used to be at the shoe department at Carson, Perry Scott.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
So.
Never know.
Yeah, so, but anyway, so I guess we sold Florsheim for a while and then they disappeared, but I was reading a larger story into it, and I can't remember where the article was, but Florsheim, and apparently these are the shoes that the president has been wearing, since God was a child and the whole bit. And so this is what he thinks is luxury. And they're $150 shoes, which, for some budgets, but it's a middle of the road shoe.
Right.
And you've got Scott Bessent, whom I hate with the fire of 1,000 suns, but he's wearing, a brand Richard Green, or, I don't know men's shoes, obviously, but, these super expensive, because he's a billionaire. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, Mr. President, if you're a billionaire, why are you wearing a
Florsheim shoes?
Yeah, isn't there?
It's like I told my husband when I bought him a pair of Gucci loafers, I'm like, honey, this is the shoes that men should wear.
Right. Right. Tucker would be like, Gucky, what? He has absolutely no interest in any of that. But yeah, so and Marco was wearing, I think, Louis Vuittons, and he can't wear his Louis Vuittons now because
he's got to wear these oversized Florsheim shoes that don't fit. And here's the reason why they don't fit. My opinion, folks, that's what they said. There's a correlation that men have with shoe size.
I know, yeah.
So nobody wants to say their feet are small.
Well, no.
So would you lie? Like, if you wear a size 8 shoe, are you going to actually tell the President of the United States of America what size shoe you wear? Or are you going to try to inflate the numbers?
No, Verley.
So you get a size 12 that leaves 4 inches.
Verley, it's worse than that. the president decided what size shoe.
I thought that he asked people what sizes, and then
no, he guessed. So y'all, the president is looking at your crotch and deciding what your shoe size is based on your crotch.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's masculine. Poor Marco.
That
Poor
guy,
Marco.
Really, Marco could actually have a future in politics. You know,
not
some
now.
People would say.
I hope not now.
Yeah, but now he sold his soul. He's going to end up with the same fate that Hillary Rodham Clinton had. Like, I think she was on a trajectory where at one point maybe she could have been president, but then when she served under Barack Obama and the whole Benghazi thing happened and the whole using her own emails, all those things hurt her to the degree that became the topic when she ran against Trump. So Marco's going to have all this stuff that's happening under the Trump administration fall on him, and he won't be able to step away from it.
Can we really compare what happened or Hillary's, actions as Secretary of State versus Marco's?
Well, I mean, she ran against Donald Trump, and with MAGA people, throw her in jail, lock her up, all that stuff.
Exactly, but again, look at it.
I still think Hillary would have been a fantastic president.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely. I mean, maybe if she had run instead of Kamala, she might have won.
No,
maybe not.
Not this time. I think once Trump took her out the first time, I think that was kind of the death knell. Mm-hmm. But I just
But she still had the popular vote when she ran against him.
Yeah,
and lost.
Yeah, she did. But I'm just saying that, okay, the server that they made this big deal about, that she, the private server, and how many people in the Trump administration have been busted doing the same thing.
The same exact thing.
Same exact thing,
or
but
worse.
Yeah, well, that's and Benghazi, we have talked about that ad nauseum, that, she didn't, it was a terrible, unfortunate thing, but it wasn't.
It wasn't, but it still hurt her.
Well, sure, because they pounded it into the ground.
Of course, the ambassador lost his life, so of course that is terrible.
Right.
There's no but in that regard, but
yeah, how many people are losing their lives now in a war that even Trump admitted he didn't, we didn't really think about it.
It's going to end soon, Michelle.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So now, rather than say it's going to be a week or 10 days, now
it's soon.
The turn is soon.
Okay.
So it's going to end soon. And meanwhile, allies are just jumping up in line to help Donald Trump because they just think that, he's the best thing since sliced bread. Oh, my goodness.
It's...
But nobody's complaining about the price of gas. None of the people who complained about it under Biden are complaining now about the price of gas. They're all happy to pay almost $4 a gallon.
Yeah, I filled up on Sunday because over by my house it was $3.38. So,
wow, that's a deal.
I know it was $3, and because I knew that if I waited, it was going to be astronomical. And then I came home from school yesterday and found $3.99. I'm like, oh my god!
Lucky you filled up.
I was gonna say I'm looking at. I have this app called Gas Buddy, and it just tells me.
Yep.
All right, so tell us the lowest price for gas.
$3.33.
And where is that?
$3.33 is at Luke on Indianapolis Boulevard and Michigan Street, as well as Gas Center right there on Indianapolis and Michigan Street. But then also some of these.
Those are basically Hammond locations?
Yes, and then the highest one is $4 a gallon, and that is Family Express in Highland.
Okay.
But then everything's going to vary, and your middle point is that $3.50.
Okay.
Right, but the $3.30...
that's your cheapest option.
Right, and that typically goes up on Tuesday. So...
Uh-oh. So
yeah,
Tuesday morning?
Yeah.
Tuesday night?
Yeah.
So I'm too late?
I always find that, if you gas up over the weekend, by Tuesday, everything has shot up. So
yeah,
hold on to your butts, everyone. Okay. But it's really, 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 really sad when all you can do is laugh because our allies, and basically, Trump, oh, you got to help us now, okay? And they're like, yeah, we'll get back to you.
Right. Yeah.
If not outright said no, and all you can do is laugh because what else are you going to do?
Yeah, it's pretty sad. It's pretty scary. Really.
Yeah, and we deserve it. That's the sad thing. We deserve them saying no.
So I was just trying to see what the price of gas was at Costco, because that's where I usually gas up.
Does Costco give like the 10 cents off and everything?
Well, the prices are normally lower. Of course, you have to be a member to buy gas there.
Yeah.
But I don't know why it's not just popping up for me. But yeah, the Strait of Hormuz is...
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think that was going to happen. Are you kidding?
Do you think that by killing these leaders who they have killed or maimed, that is uniting Iranian people for the American cause?
That's an interesting question. They clearly hated their leader, but what did they get in the government? Because they don't have, I don't believe they have free and fair elections, right? Or free and fair.
But when you say they hated their leader, because this was not only he was their supreme leader, but he's also their religious leader.
Right.
So that's kind of like, to them, that's like killing, our prophets, or killing Christ, or killing, someone like a Dr. King or John F. Kennedy. Or does that unite the people to that person who committed that crime?
No, because now they've got Khamenei's son, who's even worse, who's even a harder line than his father.
They say he's in a Russian hospital.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
The new young guy?
Yes. That he was actually hurt.
Oh.
You apparently didn't see the press conference they gave this past weekend.
No.
Oh, my gosh.
Banana pants?
It's really sad. And, they start calling them rats and, trying to dehumanize the people.
Yeah, we've never seen that before. That's a brand new tactic, huh?
Yeah, it's really scary. On the world stage, I think we are really looking bad. And it's no wonder why the same people that were willing to join us when there were no weapons of mass destruction are now turning their backs.
Yeah.
Because they've been down that road before.
Yeah.
And what's happening is
but even
scary.
And this is the whole thing about diplomacy too, though. Even if they've been down the road before, a little finesse, a little, you can, at least persuade someone to kind of help you out. Listen, guys, whatever. But no, we're going in here, we're the United States and you have to help us. And no, and the world is telling us, no, we don't.
Yeah.
And we won't. So.
Especially when they are seeing some of this looking a lot like war crimes.
Uh-huh.
The girls' school that they don't even want to talk about.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Yeah. It was not
it wasn't us.
It
wasn't me.
Shaggy made a song about that.
Yeah. And then the other big thing, we've got these missiles, and I don't know if today we're, close to being out of missiles, these $1 billion or million, I should say, millions to make these missiles. And they're going to Ukraine and saying, hey, you guys got this drone stuff. Teach us how to do these drones. Drones cost what, like $20,000 to make? And Iran's got plenty of them, and that's how they're fighting the war.
Yep.
And we're trying to take out a bunch of drones with these, $1 million missiles, and it's not working well.
I mean, they just started an attack against the U.S. Embassy in Saudi Arabia, I believe. So they're hitting U.S. allies in their region, which is...
Yeah, and then now you've got Qatar and the UAE being like, we need to rethink this, y'all.
Dubai shut their airport down.
Yep. Yep, and all the British influencers and stuff are, trying to get out of Dubai. Oh no, we can't live here anymore. Yeah.
I mean, it's creating chaos in the world right now. This is the same president who said no new wars.
Right. No new wars, everyone.
Let's focus on our own country and
our own billionaires.
Yeah, he was going to end Iraq's war, and now he's already shut off gas to Cuba. So now they're in a blackout in Cuba. And is Russia going to intervene when it comes to Cuba? It's
don't know. I don't know if Putin's in any. I don't know if Putin's in any position. He's in a position.
Hey, he was sharing intelligence with Iran. So.
Well, exactly. And you have to imagine that every day he wakes up smiling at his good fortune. That I don't think even he could imagine how dumb this all is. I know I'd be laughing every day at this, but, hey.
Well, let's take a break. We'll
be
back. There's so much more good news to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
And then for our sponsors, you guys are talking about corned beef sandwiches.
Yes.
Corned beef dinners, right? Corned beef and cabbage dinners.
Let's see what our sponsors have to say about those.
All right.
Are you sausage curious?
Who's ready for Poland?
Big Frank Sausage has the very best Polish food in the region.
You had a mouthful of Big Frank sausage?
We have a full bar, dine-in, carry-out, delivery, and catering available.
I've had a mouthful of Big Frank sausage.
I've got a mouthful of Big Frank sausage.
219-378-9556. Smacznego I na zdrowie.
Who's ready for Polish?
It's the simplest expression. The smallest thing that changes everything. A smile. So easy. A smile lights it up. Apologizes. And welcomes unconditionally. Because the shortest distance between two people is a smile.
Thank you.
Strachan Van Til, where making life easier starts with a smile.
IBEW Local 697 electrical contractors bring the highest standard of electrical work to Lake County homes, schools, and businesses. From everyday fixes to once-in-a-lifetime builds, we don't just get the job done, we get it done right and up to the highest safety standards. When you need electrical work, hire the professionals who power Indiana. Powering Indiana, Lake County, bringing excellence to the job, creating a brighter future for our community.
It's the simplest expression. The smallest thing that changes everything. A smile. So easy. A smile lights it up. Apologizes. And welcomes unconditionally. Because the shortest distance between two people is a smile.
Thank you.
Strachan Van Til, where making life easier starts with a smile.
Transferring credits into WGU was it was a great experience. I went to 6 or 7 other universities, and WGU just said, "Here, send it here, and we'll take care of it." It was seamless, and I knocked out almost 3 years worth of credits, and I did it in about 14 months.
Learn more.
It's JCPenney's Now Trending event. Shop in store at jcp.com to save or jcp.com for details.
And welcome back to That's What They Said here on Tuesdays on WJOB, AM 1230, 104.7 FM, Hammond, Indiana. We're going to go right to traffic and the weather, and then we'll be back to That's What They Said.
Yep.
Okay, so let's take a look at the weather. So currently right now at the Shaq Van Til Studios, it is 18 degrees. Today we are seeing highs of 27 degrees, lows of 23. Breezy, quite cold with partial sunshine, and tonight cloudy and cold with periods of snow late, accumulating to a coat of an inch. Roads can be slippery for that morning commute when we have temperatures of a high of 43 degrees and a low of 34 degrees. And then from there, we had that snow that's happening between the hours of 3 and 8 a.m. Not as cold, but some morning flurries, occasional rain in the late. And then on Thursday, highs of 54 degrees, lows of 37, a little morning rain and partially cloudy. Let's take a look at our traffic. So traffic in the Northwest region, it's looking pretty good. 65 going north and south is looking good. 80 going east and west is looking good. 90 going east and west is looking good. Chicago Skyway, Lakeshore Drive is looking good. We're seeing a little bit less traffic right there on the connector at the Bishop Ford and the Dan Ryan. But as we head further into the city, we're seeing just a bit of heavier traffic there downtown. We do have an accident on the right shoulder on the Stevenson I-55 South at Central Avenue, exit 285. And then going north, the Stevenson is just very heavy in traffic, a lot of stop-and-go traffic headed that way. We are also having a bit of stop-and-go traffic there on the Eisenhower going both east and west all the way through. And as you're heading into the Rosemont area, 94 going east and west are looking heavy just all the way through. A lot of stop and go. And we still got an accident on the exit ramp, Kennedy I-90 west at Canefield Road, exit 80, reported at 6:57 a.m. But other than that, that is all for your traffic and weather.
Thank you so much, Adriana. We always appreciate those updates. So I thought we were going to be able to get away from sad news or bad news, but we can't.
Never.
Because we had something so devastating happen so close to where we live. So Michelle, I know you covered the story for the Post-Tribune, the Chicago Tribune company.
Yep.
And just share, because you were actually there on the scene.
Yeah, so I was filling them in during the break. So Wednesday morning, and Tuesday you're sitting there, and we're all terrified.
So tell them what exactly happened.
Okay,
and where we're
talking
about.
Tuesday night, they had a very, very wicked storm system come through, most of the Midwest, and the tornadoes that we were terrified that were going to come, to Lake County went south and really, really beat up the town of Lake Village. And so Wednesday morning, I'm starting to wake up, and one of my bosses calls me and says, "Hey, what are you doing today?" And I'm like, "Well, I was going to do such and such, but I bet you're going to tell me what I'm going to be doing." She's like, "How'd you like to go down to Lake Village?" "Oh, okay, cool." So
How long did it take you to drive down there?
I ended up putting 100 miles on my car round trip. So I would say probably, let's call it 40 minutes, because I drive like an idiot. So
40 minutes each way.
Yeah. So I got down there, and, it was a whole lot of coordinating with, with the Chicago Tribune, because they were doing, from the Kankakee / Aroma Park area. So
they're right on the border of Illinois.
Yeah.
So you have that coverage as well as Indiana coverage.
Right. So I'm talking with, we had a photographer, and then one of the Chicago Tribune photographers. I think they sent like 3 down there, which I was like, wow, that's a lot, but okay. In the days that we used to be able to do that. But anyway, so I got out to, they're like, okay, we first need you to go to the site where there were 2 people that were killed.
Right.
And so I get down there, and a side note to this is I had told the staff that, or my editor, I'm like, you guys know that you're probably never going to see me again, because directional, down south, they have directional streets, 900 south that goes like east and west.
So county road.
Yeah, county roads,
right.
which I don't understand. But anyway, so you get down there, and I was shocked I found it pretty easily. And it was this wide stretch, this long, lonely country road, and you get there, and I had the benefit of seeing, emergency vehicles where, people were gathered and stuff, and you walk out there, and you see the guys in the reflective vests picking through piles of rubble, and you really, pictures kind of don't do it justice, because these tornadoes, they come through, and it's just like, it was completely decimated. So
did you have to show your press pass to get on the scene?
No.
So there actually were allowing just individuals to come out there?
Oh, yeah, there were looky-loos driving past, and, because people were curious.
But usually they're also concerned about people coming to steal, so...
Well, there was nothing to steal, because these houses were flattened.
So totally
flattened.
decimated.
But what was... So, a little foreshadowing here, one of the first things I noticed, and I took a picture for, my kids at the high school that I help with the paper, I took a picture of this white truck, and next to it was an SUV that was turned, flipped over on its side right next to it, and it was all kind of buried in trees, and so I wanted to show them that, I was down there actually doing something live. Well, after I finished there, I talked to a family that walked down, and, this cute little 4-year-old was talking about how he had 2 donkeys in his garage right now because they were, they had to, he's all very excited about this. But they said, okay, go on over to North Newton High School, because that was where one of the safety or not headquarters, but I'm thinking emergency shelters. They were doing it in the high school. So I get over there and I talk to Sarah Moss of the Red Cross, who is very lovely. I hadn't met her yet. She's relatively new. But
so the Red Cross was definitely on the scene right from the start, because
yes.
there's been like negative talk about the Red Cross, but they were there.
Oh, yes, they were. Yes,
Boots
they were.
on the ground.
Yep. So they were there, and Homeland Security was there too, because there was a dude.
So FEMA was there, or
not FEMA? It was DHS.
So that's interesting.
Yeah,
FEMA should have been there as well.
Well,
which we can talk about, but go ahead.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Everybody's on government shutdown,
right? So, but the DHS, there was a guy that I walked up to, and I wasn't sure who he was, and I'm like, hey, can you? And he's like, well, I'm Department of Homeland Security. I'm like, oh, so I probably can't talk to you, can I? He's like,
now FEMA
no.
is under the Department of Homeland Security,
right?
But,
oh yeah, but anyway, there were teams on the ground there, but I'll get to that. So, I talking to the American Red Cross people, and so I get out to the car, and I was about to go over to the command center in town, and Smearcheck, the photographer I was working with for the Post, he calls me. He's like, "Are you still at the high school?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Don't move, because there's a guy coming. He was homeless and he survived."
Wow.
And I'm like, okay.
So he didn't lose his home.
No, he didn't.
Because he didn't have one to lose, but he survived.
Well, he kind of did, because the white truck that I took the picture of.
Yes.
That's where he was living. Yep.
Wow.
So I got to talk to him, and he's like, "You got to talk to this guy, man." He's like, so here's how this story happened. He said he was making his rounds. He usually goes to, there's gas station Phil's down there. He always goes and he talks to the ladies down there. And they had told him about the storm, and then he stopped at the Dollar General that got flattened.
So is he doing this walking, or does he actually have money to put gas in his vehicle?
He apparently he gets enough money to, survive in his truck. He sleeps in his truck, and he was telling me all about that. But so he talked to all these ladies, and they were telling him about the storm, and you need to take cover. And so he drives to the road that I was on, and he parked. He said that was his friend's house. He parked in their driveway, trying to figure out what he was going to do next, or he thought he had it all figured out. And he turns and he looks and sees this giant, black wave of weather, just came at him very, very quickly. And then before he knew it, there was a tree that, burst through his passenger side window.
And he's still in the car.
He's still in the car. He
Wow.
can't. And he said that his truck was lifted up. I don't know. I can't remember if he said that there was spinning, or I didn't get the sense that there was spinning, but it was lifted. And then, it dropped. And it was unclear to me whether he had spent the night in in his truck amidst all these trees. But if it weren't for him screaming, for people after they came out, people or, emergency workers, who knows if they'd have found him.
So he was trapped in
He was trapped in his truck for X amount of time.
So his truck is damaged beyond repair?
I don't know if it's damaged beyond
repair. He
repair.
didn't have insurance. More
right.
than likely not. So
yeah,
he is even doubly homeless now if he doesn't have a vehicle to live in.
Yeah, that was... But there he was, he had the blood on his glasses, and
Wow.
John had talked to him, and he was just like, I'd been thinking lately about my parents and how much I miss them, and, how this would have been a good time to join them and stuff, but that he really didn't want to. I mean, he was all over the place because who wouldn't be? I just survived
what was
the tornado.
his age, Michelle?
He was probably in his late 60s, early 70s.
Mm-hmm.
But then he said he looked, and I don't know if he saw the tornado wipe out his friend's home, but
The friend whose driveway.
yeah,
he
the
parked
driveway,
in.
yeah, that house was just gone.
Wow.
And he's like, I don't know. He just said he wasn't sure if they had left because he thought maybe they had gone to Arizona or something, to get away from the winter. That's just what he was saying. But he's like, whoever was in that house is gone. And it was just...
we know there were just 2 fatalities, and
Yeah.
they weren't the 2.
No, I believe they were. I believe in that house.
So that was the house where the 2...
Yes.
Oh, my. So they hadn't gone to...
Yeah, and he...
okay.
I don't think... I think he had... I don't know if someone on the scene told him that there were deaths or whatever.
So people in that area, they don't have storm shelters or...
Oh, they do. There was one family I talked to that had gone, she said, we thought it was just going to be another storm. We were watching it, and then we went over to my brother's house, and he has a concrete, storm shelter. And so that she's like, yeah, we took snacks down there, and, we just figured it was going to be, just another storm like we've had before. And then they come out, and it was like, oh, wow. And she had come home, and her patio doors had been blown in, and she had like hail in the middle of her living room. So that was crazy. Then another family. So I get into town, and I get down this street, and this family that I talked to, they were or it was their in-laws, and they were there collecting, at this point, just the family, the pictures of, that they hadn't digitized yet, and, the family heirlooms and stuff that's meaningful.
Well, see, that's why I was concerned about looters, because they
Right.
still have their
Sure.
valuables are still in those locations, and
Sure.
people can just come through there randomly.
Sure, but I'm sure that they, people had blocked at a certain point, after FEMA has or DHS has gone through. I'm sure everything was taped off or however. But so this family had gone in, and the daughter-in-law was telling me the story of how mother-in-law and father-in-law, father-in-law, I ain't leaving my house. I've been here for 36 years, and I'm not going anywhere. And they're like, Dad, we're please, the storm looks different. Please go. So finally, they get in the truck, and they start heading down to the fire station, because that was where the command center and one of the emergency shelter was, and it was like right up the street. She said that they had just gotten in the truck when the hail started. And so by the time that they came back, I can't remember if she said that they went that night back to the house, but the one whole side of the house was blown off.
Wow.
Yeah, and she showed the pictures, and seriously, it looked like one of those, those places in Bali where, you've got, it's like a 3-sided room. They were showing the bedroom, or she showed the picture of the bedroom, and the one whole side of the house. The rest of the structure's standing, but it's gone.
So much devastation so close by.
Oh, yeah.
So appreciative of you giving firsthand knowledge.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Actually being there on the scene to see the devastation.
Yeah.
And to talk to the people.
Yeah, it was something. And so then I managed to get myself stuck in an easement because the ground was so wet. So I was trying to turn around, and so I wanted
Did they have to tow you out?
Yep.
Michelle.
Okay. I have to give a shout out to, I never got the one kid's name.
You get hazard pay out there?
I'm going to find that out today. But a guy from Rest Pro, I think they're a restoration company down there.
Uh-huh.
But there was this young kid that came out and tried like heck to push me out of the mud. He couldn't get me. So then a gentleman from Continental Electric managed to put the tow hook on and yanked me out. So that was cool. And then I still had to make deadlines. So while he was, while they're hooking the thing up to my car, and I'm sitting here starting to write my story on my phone. So yeah, that was
about
a day.
Dedicated journalism. That's what I love. That's what we have here on That's What They Said.
It's what you got to do. So yeah, that's how that ended up. And so my question is, I haven't heard anything. I think I would have heard by now. Has our governor, because I know he was there Thursday, has he declared it a state of emergency yet?
I have not heard that he has, and that would be his way of getting the federal funds in.
There's still this matter that, since Indiana didn't redistrict, so do you even think funds if we say?
I think that Mike Braun has proven his loyalty to Donald Trump. And you can't always control the outcome based on, you can't control other people, like some people try and control other people. Right. So I don't think that President Trump would hold it against the governor of Indiana.
You don't think so?
I would probably say a lot of those people supporters of the president.
So I'm looking right now on,
yes,
I just looked up if it is declared a state of emergency.gov.
Okay, thank you.
It says executive order here. Executive, and I'm looking at the paper. It says declaring a disaster in Newton and Stark counties due to severe weather and tornadic activities to all whom these presents may come. Sorry, I'm reading this. It's looking a little weird. Greetings. Indiana Code 1014.3.12 provides that the governor shall declare a disaster emergency by executive order if spread or severe damage, injury, or loss, life, or property has occurred, or that the occurrence of threat or of disaster is intimate. On March 10th, 2026, severe weather and tornadic activity cause a widespread and severe damage throughout Jasper, Newton, and Stark counties. And whereas the severe weather has resulted in damage and destruction of homes, business infrastructure, and other structures, loss of power, downing of trees, injuries, tragic loss. Now, therefore, I, Mike Braun, by virtue of the authority vested in me as governor of state of Indiana, do hereby declare a state of disaster emergency exists in these counties. Find that state assistance is necessary to supplement local resources to respond to this disaster, and authorize individual assistance under the state disaster relief fund for eligible individuals. And then it just goes on to say the rest. But yes, so I believe this means that yes, he did declare state of emergency.
And let me see. This may be, I just looked here, that I did get Governor Page update, so chances are that, sometimes I was not, that job goes, Alex and Maya are the ones watching that, so, but.
Yeah, I don't think they would hold the redistricting against the governor, and those victims, just to give their names, were actually Edward and Arlene Kozlov, 4 years old.
Okay.
So
yeah,
very sad.
Because Hugh, that was the gentleman that I talked to, and he called her Adele.
Uh-huh.
So, that may...
Yeah, I don't know. They have the name as Arlene.
Yeah.
So maybe he just...
Right.
had been calling her Adele and she never corrected him.
Right, or the fact that, he had just survived a tornado.
Yes,
exactly. You can't
Most
be
definitely.
thinking...
So are very severe, and they can hit
Mhm.
anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends on where they drop down. But we're going to take a break, and then
So we're going to hear from our sponsors real quick. We'll be back with That's What They Said here on WJOB, 1230 AM, 104.7 FM in Hammond, Indiana, and also live here on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Cool.
Ogren Insurance, Hammond's oldest family-owned independent insurance agency, now in its third generation providing clients in the Chicago area with products from quality insurance companies to handle your every need. Regardless of driving history, Ogren Insurance can find the right coverage for you at competitive prices. To learn more about the insurance solutions and services we offer throughout Indiana, Illinois, and Michigan, call 219-933-0076 or visit our website, ogreninsurance.com. We're located at 6929 Homan Avenue in Hammond, Indiana. Do business locally with someone you know and trust.
When your home needs help, the last thing you need is a faceless corporation or sales-driven franchise. At Myers Companies, we've been proudly local since 1951, born and raised right here in Northwest Indiana. We're family-owned and operated, built on trust, hard work. Your comfort and safety always come first. For HVAC, plumbing, and electrical done right, choose Myers Companies. Local, family-owned, here for your family.
For a fast and friendly car wash, go to Easy Clean Car Wash. Open 7 days a week in 4 convenient locations: Highland, Griffith, Cherville, and Lansing. Free vacuuming, air freshener, and a towel with every wash. It's fast of all our locations. Visit myeasyclean.com. Also, see how you can wash your car daily with our $10 Ultimate Wash for only $19.99 per month. Give your car the best clean at Easy Clean Car Wash.
From the gas in your car to the heat in your home and the roads that you drive on, our work powers daily life. We are USW Local 71, the proud men and women of the Whiting Refinery. We're not just refinery workers. We're your friends and neighbors, raising our families here, shopping in the same stores, and cheering in the same stands. USW Local 71, powering the region because we are the region.
There we go.
Okay. Welcome back to That's What They Said here on WJOB, AM 1230, 104.7 FM, Hammond, Indiana. We're going to go right to traffic and weather, and then we're going to come back and talk about a former mayor that was involved in perhaps political corruption and the outcome. And he's not a Democrat.
Whoops. Let's take a look at traffic and weather before we get to that story. So, advertisements. There we go. So let's take a look at weather. Currently right now at the Track Vento Studios, it got colder. It is 17 degrees today.
It got colder from the time that we got here.
It got colder. It went from 18 to 17. Look at that.
Oh.
Today we're seeing highs of 27 degrees, lows of 23, breezy and quite cold with partial sunshine. Tonight, cloudy and cold periods of snow late accumulating to a coating of an inch. Roads could be slippery on the morning commutes, as we are seeing. That on Wednesday, highs of 43, lows of 34. Not as cold, but morning flurries and occasional rain in the late evening. Thursday's highs of 54 degrees, lows of 37. And you are going to be seeing a little morning rain, partially cloudy. And then we're going to get it back into the 60s and then dip back into the 50s. Taking a look at our traffic. Traffic in the Northwest region is looking pretty good. 65 going north and south is looking good. 80 going east and west. 90 going east and west is looking good. Chicago Skyway and Lakeshore Drive is looking good. A little bit of traffic right there still on the connector of the Bishop Ford headed into the city. Dan Ryan is looking pretty good. We're seeing heavy traffic all the way through and through on the Stevenson Expressway going north. Going south is looking pretty good. A little stop and go traffic here and there. Taking a look at the Eisenhower Expressway going east and west is heavy in traffic all the way through. as we're headed into more of the city area and into downtown, 94 going east and west is just terrible all the way through as you're headed in and out of the city into that Rosemont area by the airport. So just keep that in mind as you are headed in for your morning commute. But that is all for your traffic and weather.
Thank you, Adriana.
So I'm just going to, or vaguely, we'll go to Snyder. I want to switch the picture from Danielle here. I want you guys to see.
Yes, I was going to say, let's get Danielle off there and let's have some pictures of Lake Village.
Yeah, I will send you.
Okay, and while you're setting that up, let's go to the phone lines. We'll take the caller and then we'll talk about former Mayor Snyder. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, ladies.
Morning.
How you all doing? So good to hear you all this morning. I'll tell you because
I'm sorry, I can't hear the caller.
I'm going to turn it up. Go ahead.
It's Mr. Matlock.
Oh.
Good morning, how you doing?
We are
Fine.
living the
How you
dream,
all?
sir.
Okay, so mine's not working.
Let me just tell you, I appreciate you all so much, but I tell you right now, media is on the attack. Free speech.
Oh, yes. That's another thing we can talk about, too. Brendan Carr is going to take all our licenses for talking bad about Trump.
Yeah, all right. And I'm number one. I've been
I
told
don't
that
see anything bad about him.
a couple people called in last week say they ought to bar Matlock, not even allow him to speak on the thing, because I'm going to be a part of the No Kings Day whenever it comes around.
Right.
Because we don't need Donald Trump right now. He's the worst thing we ever had. But these people who called in, that gas was high. It's Mervan's thing. It's the Democrats. You know, let me just tell you, when you put a turf on these people and other land, who you think going to pay at the pump? We're going to pay.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna pay for this turf. Yeah, he said, well, we're getting us so much money coming in because of this turf. They paying more, but it might be going into his pocket. How is it that Donald Trump has been able to get $4 billion since he's been in this time? And Jared,
I thought it was $6 billion.
$6 billion. Okay, and Jared, his son-in-law, right now has got $2 billion for another country. Now, what do I Biden when he's had something for his son? But it seems like the shoe is on the other foot. And boy, these people, you know, I'm gonna get beat up. I might not get beat up today. They'll get me tomorrow, though. But I don't care. I believe that right now, that Donald Trump
you
right
will never
now.
get beat up on our show. We don't let people beat up on each other.
I know.
We're nonviolent.
And I'm not violent too, but we dealing with some violent people though. You know, and it's we right now. Every day it's something new about Donald Trump, and so I know the people want to call me out. There's those haters, Burley, me, you, and Michelle. They don't like us. Matter of fact, I think there's a boycott. I was able to get in easy this morning.
Oh,
but they'll be ready tomorrow.
I'm sure.
But anyway,
I'm sure the G chat, I'm sure, is probably lit. And if it's not, that's okay too, because it's a free country and you don't have to listen if you don't want to.
Exactly. It's like, who cares?
It's fine.
Right now, the courts is blocking JFK thing and this vaccine thing, and John Kennedy's daughter, I guess, is coming out and just blasting her cousin. Uncle or whatever, in this thing, JFK.
Mm-hmm.
You could look at this guy and tell he's got some problems. He needs to take all the vaccines he could get, you know.
Well, it seems like I can't even say there's a vendetta against the Kennedys because, of course, one of them is working in his cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to the Kennedy Center, they're getting ready to shut it down for 2 years for renovations.
Yeah.
After everybody they tried to book has declined.
They declined, and now the president, or Richard Grinnell, that goon, finally resigned because.
But now they have a new one who's just as bad.
Oh, okay.
Right now,
they're shutting it down.
Well, right now, them fighting what I just happen to believe, and I've said this, I'm gonna say it again because I know them people are. I believe if we're attacked in this country, we need to respond. We need to come to it.
Mm-hmm.
But we need not to be bothering into other people's business, trying to be a ruler of the whole world. And that's
right.
exactly what That's what Donald Trump is doing. He's trying to be the ruler of the whole world. And matter of fact, he's talking about going into Cuba now.
Well,
I wonder what.
Right now he's affecting Cuba. Cuba has a blackout because they have halted all shipments of oil from Venezuela to Cuba. And they're trying to, change regimes over there. We know that. They've been trying to do that for decades. But the Cuban people are protesting right now in the streets because they have no power.
Right. And I think was it the woman who gave her, I saw a headline the other day that Nobel Prize winner, was talking about how Trump is dangerous. I was like, oh, is it the one that gave him
her prize?
Yeah, here, have my prize.
Well, they said she was advised to do that. To garner favor,
and I'm going to hear him get out, but I want to say this. I heard them people say on this thing, oh, Trump don't even take a salary. I guess he don't take a salary.
I wouldn't either if I'm, because I'm getting all my money from the tariffs.
$4 billion. See, that's what I'm saying. I want to deal on some issues. I don't want to deal on personality. I want to deal on issues. Donald Trump is the worst thing you ever had. And right now we into war. I don't know if my son was 18, 20 years old, I say don't go to this war. Do not go. I served in the Vietnam War. They called it a conflict. It was war, and it caused a president at the time, whose name was Lyndon B. Johnson, say I will not run again because they couldn't stop this war. Do you think Donald Trump will do the same thing? I don't think so. He
can't run again, so we don't have to worry about that.
Okay. No, we can't. We're not sure about that because
right now he can't. He might call martial law and totally.
And it's just terrible. So, like I say, I want to see how many of these people love Donald Trump will say, well, I hate Donald Trump. They just let us talk about in California. It's going to be $5 a gallon already in California. Okay. But y'all have a great day.
Yep.
Thank you so
much.
Take care, Mr.
Matlock. So anyway, I see that Aid got the pictures up. So that one right there, that's the picture I took for my kids. And also, speaking of my kids and to...
So when you say my kids, because people say, Michelle, I didn't know you had children.
No,
Michelle
I do not
is actually a teacher. And she has students that she teaches. And she's also over the journalism, the newspaper or what have you.
Yeah, to clarify, I'm a substitute teacher. So I shout out to all the teachers.
So isn't a teacher? Whether you're a substitute or not, you're still teaching. Do we have to say substitute?
I would prefer it because my teacher friends, I think, are a cut above everyone. And what I do is not teaching so much as, helping out. Kind of, because, I don't...
What grade level do you?
I do all the grades.
Okay.
I do all of them.
Favorite grade?
I'd rather do high school because, also, like I said, high school, you basically, this is your assignment. I'm not your mom. You can choose to do it or you could not choose to do it. And
get the grade that you get.
Yeah, that's my philosophy on it. But I help out my bestie. She's over the journalism program at the school that I'm at, and I help out with them.
Okay.
So
you're like the assistant moderator? Or
sort of, yeah. Basically,
co-moderator.
Basically, she's the one that teaches, and then I come in and help critique and, give tips and always, sending things that I think are interesting or I help generate story ideas.
Now, does she have a background in journalism like you?
Nope, she's English.
Exactly.
Well, we're both English.
See, this is why you can't, not give the credit that is deserved to individuals because you come in with your expertise in how many years of award-winning journalism to share with a class. So that's key. Secondly, substitute teachers, some people are permanent subs. That's what they do.
Right.
They are, to me, teachers. Whether or not, I don't like step parents and step children. Right. I always cut off that part. These are my children. If you want to say bonus, that's fine. But
oh, yeah, I was about to say in my household we say bonus.
Right. Yeah. But you are a teacher, Michelle. Regardless to how you do your job, teacher is in it.
Yeah.
In what it's called. And so you are teaching students and you're making a difference in students' lives.
Oh, I hope so.
So I'm giving you the full props that you deserve.
Thank you.
And I can't keep earbuds in my ear. I never could. That's why I lose all those Apple things all the time.
I think it was one day, it was really funny. One of the kids, because my bestie's always like, you need to be a teacher. And I'm like, no. And one of the students very correctly said, no, she cannot teach. I'm like, that is correct. You are correct, friend. But anyway, what I was going to say about that, to Mr. Matlock's point, is very recently I was in a classroom, and sometimes, we say stuff about kids not being engaged, and they're not. However, the ones who are, because I had to have the conversation and try to convince a bunch of senior boys that we are not going to have a draft.
And how do you know that's not going to happen?
I don't.
How do you convince someone of something that you're not positive of yourself?
The only thing I could say, and Tucker tells me all the time, he's like, we're not going to have a draft. I'm telling you, it is unpopular. It is, it will never happen again. And I'm like, I'm sure he knows more than I do. But I'm like, I can't. So what I said to these kids, based on, I'm like, look, guys, while I cannot promise you anything, and I would never promise something like that because I can't tell the future, as of right now, and this is true too, that, Caroline Levitt said we are not going to, it's not off the table. But as of right now, there will not be a draft.
Well, right now, but there's no way to predict the future. If this turned into World War III, then who is to say there wouldn't be a draft?
Exactly.
Well, I just looked it up. I did a quick little Google search,
right?
And I just put, "Is there a decline in people joining the military?" What came up firsthand is yes, the U.S. military has faced significant multi-year recruit crisis, with several branches failing to meet enlistment goals throughout 2023. While recruitment hit a low in 2022, 2024 saw a rebound with a 12.5% increase in personnel through challenges in finding eligible and willing recruits to persist. Now, the decline in eligibility, only about 29% of young people considered to be Gen Z are eligible for service without a waiver, largely due to failure to graduate high school and or criminal records. Lack of awareness and desire. A 2024 Department of Defense studies found that only 9% of civilians aged 16 to 24 plan to join. The lowest is in that 15-year age range. The political climate and cultural disconnect. Some argue the politicization of the military has eroded the desire to serve, while others cite low exposure to military life, according to many discussions. And then job market and pandemic effects. Strong civilian jobs market offer better pay and benefits, while COVID-19 halted in-person recruiting in schools. So that is one thing that they did actually bring back. I remember doing all the college fairs and all that. Yes, you're going to have the military booth, always. You're always going to have that.
Right.
But it's usually just one. You don't have all the branches.
Right.
You just have one, which is always going to be the Army. So
it's the easiest one to get in.
Yes.
The test is the easiest one to pass.
And ASVAB and all that. I have a family member. They are actually considering they are going to be in the military. They're going to the reserves.
Okay.
And they were like, okay, well, I had to take the ASVAB and all the athletic tests and everything like that. And they did it and everything, but they're just it's a little bit harder than I assumed. And also with that, you can only be eligible after during a certain age point. After a certain age point, they're less likely going to take you.
Right.
So that also had an effect because they are in their mid-20s.
Isn't it 18 to 26 is the prime? Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's the prime, but then also it's easier to do it when you're 18 years old.
I thought they took you up to 30. I didn't know. It's only
I'm sure there's some different branches, and if somebody wants to let us know about the different branches.
But see, that shows the need, because people are not rushing, and there is nothing that's happening right now is instilling patriotism in youth to say, I want to come in and defend my country.
Yeah, I would be interested in hearing from our vets, too, what they think about.
I remember asking a few people, and it's just depending on, also, it's a lot depending on your political views. Some people feel, well, certain administrations were worse than others. Okay. You're always going to get those opinions. I'm sorry. You're always going to get those opinions. But a lot of people feel that people love the military personnel when you're in the military. Once you get out of the military, they could care less. And it's just also depending on where you live, too, and where your benefits lie.
Mhm.
But
I think part of it, though, is also because of what individuals suffer after they get out of the military. You hear so much about the post-traumatic stress, homelessness among veterans, the drinking, the alcoholism, the drug use, all these things that come about as a result of the atrocities that people have to endure while they're in the military. People look at that and they say it's so negative, they're afraid.
Yeah.
It's one thing like World War II or when you were going, or the Korean War, you were going to fight for your country and, stem the spread of communism and all the reasons why people join the military. And now when you see things going on like what's going on right now,
right?
You just don't feel like, oh, let me go serve my country.
No, I would
So
be.
I think it has a lot to do with who's in office as
Yeah,
well.
and how-
Uncle Sam wants you,
Right.
not Uncle Trump. So
not Uncle Trump.
So, but okay, so to swing back, and then we will get to Snyder, I swear. But anyway, so that picture that you're seeing right now, that's the picture I took, and that was his. That was his truck.
Boy, I got you on a tangent. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
We started out
we're-
talking about
this.
this. I'm
This
sorry.
is what we do.
This
It's all
is called
good.
talk radio.
That's right.
We're here for the tangent.
Yeah, we're yapping. So that was the picture,
and that's his truck in the background.
That's his truck.
So his truck was a pickup truck.
Yeah.
Oh, he was living in. See, I'm thinking he was living in like a panel trunk where he had the whole back of the truck to
No.
go in and lounge in his couch and cook a meal on
No,
a hot
no.
plate or something.
No.
But he's actually living in a 2-seat or a bench pickup truck.
Yep.
Okay.
And then
Wow.
we
Yep.
got this photo here.
So then that's the picture. That's one of the pictures John took of him.
And he
as
gave
was
permission
talking.
for his pictures to be shared. So let's move it on.
Yes. Okay. And then that was another picture that, the gentleman, I believe that was the one that was
So is that a
published.
county police
Yes,
officer?
Newton County
from
police
Newton
officer.
County
Yep.
police officers. Okay.
Yep, and that he was just going into his truck, but
Get
those
his
were the-
whatever belongings or valuables he probably had.
Yep.
Probably his identification.
Yep.
Because without that, he can't vote.
Yep.
So
yeah, so that was just pictures from the day, and I don't remember what else John shot. But I believe those were the pictures that were used, and once they're used, I can show a picture.
All
so.
right. Well, thank you for sharing these, Michelle.
Yeah, and that one is mine.
It
so
shows the devastation.
So anyway, so now we can swing back to Mr. Snyder.
Did we want to take a break? Is this going to be like a long segment? Or
Yeah, go ahead and take a break.
Yeah, go ahead and take a
Adriana.
break. It's
Sure.
cool.
So we're going to take a break. You are listening to That's What They Said on WJOB 1230 AM, 104.7 FM in Hammond, Indiana. And you're also watching live here on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. But first, we are going to hear a word from our sponsors. And the one up next is Albert's.
All right.
It's gold rush time at Albert's. Oh, looky here! Oh, those are gonna fetch a pretty penny.
Who's gonna buy them from us?
I'll buy that gold from you. What did you say?
I said I'll buy that gold from you, and I'll give you top dollar.
That sounds great.
It's gold rush time. We will see you at Albert's.
For over 140 years, the Central Midwest Carpenters have built our communities in Northwest Indiana. Are you ready to join the effort? We have long-term work, competitive pay, and the best benefits in the industry. We pride ourselves on innovative training and commitment to worksite safety. Earn as you learn as an apprentice. A solid career built on a solid legacy. For more info, go to carpenters.com.
Are you searching for a college where you belong? Calumet College of St. Joseph wants to know you and give you the support you need to succeed. Are you worried about how you'll pay for your degree? 95% of our students receive financial aid, including scholarships and grants. Need some extra help with your classes? You'll benefit from our small class sizes, free tutoring, internship planning, faculty mentors, and so much more. Come experience our accepting, supportive college family for yourself. Schedule your campus visit and apply at ccsj.edu.
Planting a tree, installing a fence, whether your project is big or small, NIPSCO reminds you to know what's below and contact 811 at least 2 full business days before doing any digging so that utility companies can mark the location of their underground lines. Contacting 811 is free and it's the law. Avoid possible penalties, costly repairs, or injuries. DIY or a pro, safety is in your hands. Every dig, every time.
And good morning. Welcome back to That's What They Said here on WJOB AM 1230, 104.7 FM, Hammond, Indiana. I'm Verly Suggs. My co-hosts are Michelle Quinn and Adriana
Morning.
Alvarez.
Good morning.
Adriana is going to go right to traffic and weather, and then we'll be back to talk about, well, what we said we were going to talk about the last segment. How's that?
Yes, so let's take a look at weather. Currently right now in the Northwest region, it is still cold with 17 degrees. Today we're seeing highs of 27 degrees, lows of 23, breezy and quite cold with partial sunshine. Tonight, cloudy and cold with periods of snow late accumulating to a coating of an inch, and roads can be slippery. In the morning on Wednesday, highs of 43 degrees and lows of 34. Not as cold with morning flurries and occasional rain later on. Thursday, seeing highs of 54 degrees, lows of 37. A little morning rain and partially cloudy skies. Taking a look at traffic in the Northwest region is looking pretty good. 65 going north and south is looking good. 80 going east and west is looking good. 90 going east and west is looking good. Chicago Skyways, Lakeshore Drive. That traffic right there on the Bishop Ford at the connector headed into the city has cleared up just a little bit. Dan Ryan is looking good. And as we head up further into the city, Stevenson Expressway going north is just kind of busy all the way through. Going south, not too bad. Eisenhower going east and west is pretty heavy in traffic. There's an accident on the Eisenhower I-290 west at Oakley Boulevard, Western Avenue, exit 27C. That was reported and updated at 7:36 a.m. And taking a look at the traffic downtown is looking a little heavy as we look at 94 going east and west is heavy all the way through and through. So if you are headed towards that area and or towards the airports, just be sure to keep that in mind on your way. And that is all for your traffic and weather.
Thank you, Adriana.
All right. So we were going to talk about former Portage Mayor Snyder and him getting 36 months of probation after 10 years. This case, I never got to cover it, but my former coworker Craig Lyons got to cover it, and Becky Jacobs, another former PTer, she got to cover it, and then Alex has covered it. I don't know if Maya has been thrown into the mix too, but I think Amy LaValle has also done some, stuff on it. And 36 months of probation for, I see here, according to Alex's story, prosecutors dropped the bribery charge at the start of the hearing, but gave background on the facts that led to the bribery charge for Brady to consider in her sentencing. Minkler said the U.S. Supreme Court ruled the case about gratuities versus a bribery, so the book needs to be closed on that issue because, now bribes can be called gratuities. Yeah, that's cool. I'd like a gratuity for everything.
So if I leave a waiter a tip, it's going to be, oh, yeah, no, that's your bribe.
Yeah.
So you do have to pay taxes on gratuities. Now he's going to have to pay, $500 a month in
$570
to pay his restitution.
Yeah.
Wow.
So IRS obstruction charge. So, yeah, his comment here is, I could have done better.
So he's not saying he could have done better as far as the outcome. What he's saying was he could have done better as
when
a
he
leader,
was there,
as a mayor. That's showing remorse.
Oh, is that what it is?
To a degree.
Oh.
So let's dissect this, because this happened during the same time that John Bunsich was found guilty of corruption in regard to towing in Lake County, as our former Lake County sheriff, he's recently been moved to a halfway house in Chicago. But he received the length of the sentence that John Bunsich served for, I think the money was pretty close in what they both were accused of.
Something like that, yeah.
This happened, the trial was in 2017, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Bunsich got over a 10-year sentence.
Yep.
Of which
I think the first sentence wasn't it like 15, and then they lowered it to
it
like
was like
188
months, and they lowered it to 151 months, or something like that.
Yeah.
He served his time in prison.
Yeah, he
While
sure did.
Snyder, who was formerly represented by the U.S. Attorney,
he was. Well, I think Kirshen was representing him, and then
initially,
Right, and then he abdicated because he had to. And
so that's
cool.
Kinda, here's a guy that knows all your secrets now being your accuser. Even though you recused yourself, you don't think there's office talk, office meetings? I don't know. I'm just saying.
Sure.
That it could have allegedly been the case. But Snyder was able to get one continuance after one delay.
Yeah, I'm going to switch attorneys. How many attorney switches did he have?
So 10 years.
10 years
went on.
Yep.
And then you walk away with 36 months of probation. Was his 10 years that he pushed this further and further away, would that be time served?
I think somebody at the other paper wrote a column on this about how Snyder, that the fact that this went on, that apparently his reputation is shot, and that should be punishment enough.
So Bunsich's reputation
that's what I was
shot
say.
From the start.
Sheriff
was that sentence enough for him?
That's a good question.
It just seems like, and we talk about Democrats and Republicans. John Bunsich, a Democrat. Snyder, a Republican.
Wrong is wrong.
Wrong is wrong. Snyder's, 48 years old?
Uh-huh.
If he had gone to prison and served those 10 years, he started out at 38, right? So it's almost been 10 years.
Best birthday present he
Right.
ever got.
So he's 48. Bunsich was 70-something when he went to prison, right? Almost. Was he in his late 60s? Or what age was he? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can't remember.
What condition is he in now when he comes out of prison?
Not great. I've heard it's not great.
It just seems like it's, not equal justice under the law.
Yep.
In the federal court system. And I'm not saying that neither one should have gotten as much time. I'm not saying that Snyder should have gotten more time. But I am saying Bunsich should have gotten less time. Because I think that for the crime, I think that his sentence was too harsh.
I would agree with that. So I don't know how she came up with, 36 months of probation.
Right, because I think that they actually wanted him to serve some time.
Yeah. Yeah, but he isn't. Yeah, and then here's the next question. Is he going to try to get some of his lawyer fees paid for by the city of Portage?
Well, initially, that was the case, right?
He was trying, yeah, but I think they nixed that. So, I mean, could he possibly attempt to do it again?
There's Wendy.
Hey,
back.
Hey, girl.
And
I love Wendy.
Who opened the? Oh, she has a way to get in. Okay, good. So that's good. She didn't have to wait out in the cold.
Yeah, we still. I gotta get them to put the.
Is
Ring
she on at
camera
8:30
outside?
Did we get her time wrong?
8:30 is. They always come in.
Oh, they come on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But what's it called? Yeah. I got to get them to put the Ring camera outside, and I'm just like, you know what, at this point, because I'm like, I feel bad having to ask, like, hey, can you just put this one little thing? That's all I need you to do. I'm like, at this point, give me a drill. I can.
Who do you feel bad asking to do that? Who normally does this stuff?
Well, the people who've like built all this together.
Oh, they didn't. Adriana, do not feel bad asking somebody to do something.
I can do it real easily. I'm good. I can do it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
yeah, so I'm not banging on the window like a serial killer. Hey!
Well, no, while I was
a serial killer going to bang on the window?
No, that was that one morning.
That one morning she freaked her out.
That one morning I'm doing traffic and weather, and then all I hear is, I'm like looking at this way, and all I hear is boom, 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 boom. I'm just like, I'm just like, all right, chat, that's where it ends. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, because that was the day I was still, my phone was still, so I couldn't text her.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm banging on the door, and I don't know if she heard me from out there. So I'm like looking around, and I see the window over here, and I see, she can hear, or she's there.
I
and
didn't
so
even
that's
know
why.
about the window over here until I think it was Little Calumet River people came in.
Yeah.
And they knocked on this one. I can just knock on this window.
So yeah, we're gonna get that camera installed.
Yeah, get the camera.
Because all the producers, we have it on our.
Well, make sure not only it's going to be a Ring camera, so it will ring the buzzer too.
Yes, so you ring
that'll
the
be
doorbell, and also the motion picks up,
Mhm.
so we're able to see. But all the producers will have it on their phone.
You just got to be able to find a way to turn that volume down because those rings are so. Everyone
loud.
knows that sound. You're in church, and here you hear somebody's Ring camera going off.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's what we had to say about Snyder, though. I mean, if anyone wants to weigh in to discuss Snyder and the fairness of his sentence versus what happened with the Lake County Sheriff, former Lake County Sheriff, let's go to the phone lines. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. 219-845-1100 is the number.
I think it was terrible. Good morning.
Oh,
again.
morning.
I just thought I'd call back. Since,
It would help
since
if
you
I
got a
put my
light call.
Sorry about
that.
Okay.
Let me just tell you, John Bunsich got the sheriff. I mean, they really went at him because he spoke up and they went at him. They gave him too much time. He shouldn't have. He should have served some time. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But what's Snyder? Are you talking about Snyder been given 3 additional years?
No,
6
all
years,
he got was 36
whatever?
months of probation. He
And
does not have to serve
restitution.
time, and he has to pay restitution.
Yeah.
And the payments are only $500 a month. 500 plus.
Yeah. But what I want to talk about this morning, and I'm talking about some Democrats in office.
Okay.
Hadn't been to work, Michelle. Hadn't been to work. Go spade rolling. A whole 3-4 years. They running again. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not going to call no names, so I don't have to bear no blame, but you know who I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about.
It's 2 of them. Two of them.
Oh,
One
two of
is
them?
going
I know the
halftime.
one. I know the one that you're talking about.
I think there's only one. That's
But-
Ron's opinion.
But it's only one that's not coming to work. But there's another one is missing halftime. Now I know that to be a fact, and I understand that sometimes.
But I will say that for one
temporarily.
individual, Ron, that they had surgery. That I think.
Well, we
yeah.
won't call no name.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know
I'm
who
not
you're
saying
talking about.
anybody's name, but
won't call
I'm
no
just
name.
saying that I think it's a little different. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, ghost payrolling is terrible. And if you feel like that you're not going to be coming back any soon, and then you talk you going to run for office again, and then you're going to ask for my vote? No way.
All right. So let me ask you this, because Ron, let's be fair.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, I try to be
All
fair,
right,
but these
let's be
people won't
fair.
let me be fair.
Let's really be fair. We've had
Okay.
county council people in the past who did not show up. We have council people who are ill and not showing up. You've had township advisory board members who are ill and who have
all
not
right.
shown up. So if we're going to talk about one, we're going to talk about all.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
Okay.
I'm agreeing with you, but that one came in. Yes, a township board member. I know that person, but they did not run again this year. Okay.
Right, but
they did not run.
But that's not the point, whether they're running or not, because when they run, you have the opportunity to elect or not to elect, regardless to who is now on their team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Bobby, hi.
Yeah, but they accepted a salary though. And that's kind of like
They're still taking a salary, Ron. The ones that aren't showing up are still taking a salary.
Yeah. Right. I agree with that. But something we need to get on the top of that. Like I said, it's my thing is that it's something I cannot stand, and I've seen people do this. It goes back, Burley, where the person was on the council, Lake County Council, and died in office, and stuff like that. Goes payroll. So it goes on and on. But as we go to the polls pretty soon, like they go into the polls today in Illinois, and I just say people need to know what's going on, because when you blindly vote for people that don't know what's going on, it's terrible. So we have an obligation. If we want to straighten up this mess, we need to at least get on the top of it, and don't after the horse is out of the barnyard and you start to holler about it. So with that, y'all have a great day.
Thank you so much.
That is my commentary for today. Yeah.
Thank you.
I agree. Well, exactly, because if we're going to talk about that, look what they did to former, disgraced county recorder, Mike Brown, the other Mike Brown. Yeah, or the council. I think
didn't show up to work.
Yeah, didn't show up to work. So I think they went through the state, and they reduced his pay to $1, as it should be, because if you're not showing up to work,
but what if you're working from home?
That's in the situation. What we're talking about now.
I mean, I play the devil's advocate, so
I agree. Yeah. I agree. I suppose, but that position is a public-facing position, and you were elected to at least show up. And so I don't know. I think that if you're an elected official, I don't think you get to work from home all the time.
Right.
You don't get to, I mean, you can't come in, it's been how many years now? You can't come in, 1 or 2 days a week. And I get that the person, is supposed to call in, is constantly on top of things, and that's fine.
I'm not defending it, Michelle.
Right.
I'm just going to say, if you're going to call one out, you got to call them all out.
I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
Right.
I agree.
But I'm definitely not defending it at all. Regardless to who's out there, pushing it. They just had a caucus not a caucus, but a precinct meeting in Hammond where they did slating.
Okay.
All right. So individuals, not every time people can't always show up at the slating.
Right.
I have to step away for a minute. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right. I got to take this call. But
okay.
But to continue on, and I had to give you the numbers of the people who are running. I apologize.
Okay, that's cool. So we're just gonna leave me here all by myself. Oh God, is that a good idea? Yeah. So what do we want to talk about while I'm here by myself? Oh, thank God, Adriana. I'm like, no, don't leave me by myself.
Sorry about that. I don't know where Verly went. I had a.
No,
we do got a phone call too.
Yeah, she's got a call. So
yeah, I just got a call too. I was like, hold on, but then I had my I hear my computer ringing because it's connected to each other, and I had my volume up because I was editing. But we do got a phone call. So
all right, I suppose we could take the caller and
let's do that. So
I can try to be.
Caller, you are on the air. Good morning. What is on your mind?
Oh, hey, I'm just wondering, I know Verly knows everything about politics in Northwest Indiana, and Michelle, you're a reporter, right?
What's the question, Mike?
Yeah, is that right? Yeah,
what's the question,
you are
Mike?
A reporter, aren't you?
Mike,
well,
what's your question?
The first question is, are you a reporter?
Mike,
yes, you are.
Mike,
why are you not
answer.
naming the names? Name the names. That's your job to tell us what's going on. That they happen to be all your friends and Democrats.
They're not.
Just name the names.
My friends. Okay, yeah, they're my friends.
Don't make excuses for these folks. They're stealing our money.
How am I making excuses? I
just
just said that I don't agree with that they're not coming to work and getting paid. I just said that.
Oh, they're working from home, maybe. Maybe they, if they just call in or just name the names. Name the names.
Name the names. Do you know how you sound? Anyway, what else?
We can't have dead air.
Oh,
no, he hung up.
Okay.
Move on. So I'm just going to go down the ballot, okay? And
okay.
You can pick out the names yourself.
Okay.
All right. So on the Democratic side, the primary is going to be taking place on May 5th. So it's coming up quick. As far as U.S. Representative for Congress, we have Frank Mervan, and he's being opposed by Levita Sparks Wade. Okay, on this, let's move down. We know our state reps. Many of them don't look like they don't have opposition on the Democratic side. That's going to be on the Republican side.
Right.
Lake County attorney Bernard Carter has no opposition.
I'm shocked.
Well, there was rumblings that there was going to be somebody running in that race, but I think that person found out that nobody wanted him, so he figured losing another race would not look good. So decided not to run. But here's an interesting race. Lake County clerk. Now, interesting part about that is Mike Brown, who was former Lake County recorder, then the clerk, ran his terms out, then Judge Arredondo held that position.
Right.
Ended up getting ill.
Right.
And not able to come to work.
Right.
Another one who was not able to come to work because he was ill.
Right.
But he actually ended up losing his life as a result.
Right.
A wonderful man. But Mike Brown was able to get caucus into that position and was able to actually now hold the office for 2 terms again. Sort of similar to David Pastrick, former coroner, who resurrected himself after his time out of office and was able to come back and serve the same, very similar. But Andrew Silvestrovich, who is a perennial Silvestrovich, I always say Silvestrovich, but Silvestrovich is actually running again. That's Lefty's uncle, I think so. He's back there on the ballot
and
again.
He's got to be in his 80s at this point too.
Definitely. But yeah, he decided to throw his name in there. Now, Lake County Auditor. You have Sandra Ford, Regina Pimentel, and Peggy Halinga Katona. I think Peggy is who we've been discussing this morning because Peggy has, she has had loss. She lost her husband. She's had illness. And she has some reasons why she hasn't been there on a regular basis like maybe she had in the past. Regina Pimentel is the current
Recorder.
recorder
Yep.
who is running for that position.
Yep.
She got that position as recorder based on what you brought up about the other Mike Brown.
Yep.
So we're not saying the black Mike Brown, the white Mike Brown. He's the other Mike Brown.
Right.
And because she said she shows up to work.
Yep.
And she has shown up to work, and now she's running for a different position. So people will make that decision when they go to the polls. Either it's going to be Sandra, Regina, or Peggy again. For Lake County Treasurer, John Patalis. He has opposition this time. It's Anthony Manuel. He's a banker. The sheriff's race. That's an interesting race right there.
Yep. I don't. Were you there? I moderated for the Miller Citizens Corporation. I was the moderator for their.
I heard you were.
Yeah.
I was not there. I actually had a guest at my house and had come in that evening to spend some time with me, so was not able to make it. But
okay.
Tell me your thoughts there. Let me name the
go ahead.
and
Go
then
ahead.
Let's talk about that race. You have Ed Jenkins, who is the current deputy sheriff.
Yep.
You have Steve Flores, who is the chief of police in St. John.
Yep.
You have Jason Gore, which is a federal agent, former federal agent.
He's ATF.
Right.
Yep.
You have Jerry Williams, who's state police officer.
And former chief of Gary as well.
Right, former Gary chief under the Prince administration. You have Maria Garcia Trajkovic, who is currently in the Lake County Sheriff's Department as well.
Yep.
And you have John Gregory Sanchez. I'm not familiar with him.
He wasn't there.
Okay, so we're going to talk about that race then.
Yeah.
So Jenkins currently works under Lake County Sheriff.
Yep.
So I get into the politics of it. So here you have Oscar Martinez, the current sheriff.
Right.
Who is he supporting his deputy, or is he supporting his officer, Trajkovic, or is he supporting Flores?
He's supporting Flores.
Exactly. So why isn't he supporting his deputy if he's doing such a great job as deputy? Or why isn't he supporting one of his women on the force? Because, of course, we want to promote women, right?
Right.
And he knows her work. Why is he not supporting one of them? Or why is Jenkins actually in the race if he is the second to the sheriff? Because the word on the streets is he was put in the race.
Right.
To hurt another candidate.
Right.
So there's all these things. Now,
Jenkins,
there's all if you ask him, he's going to say, hey, I'm in it to win it.
Yep.
Gary police have endorsed him. Gore in it to win it. McDermott is on his team and his precinct, and I'm saying McDermott's precinct organization, because it is his organization.
Right.
He runs it. Whether or not they, step in line is based on who the leader is, and he's their leader.
Right.
They endorse Gore.
Yep.
What happened at the Miller organization's sheriff's?
Well, I mean, it was a typical forum. It went long. It went about 2.5 hours, and I mean, if the question is, and people got up and asked, various questions and stuff, and are you asking me who I liked and who I?
Just tell me what you took away from that.
Okay.
You don't have to make an endorsement. I just want to know what you took away from it. Yeah.
I think Williams was very strong. Mm-hmm. I also think Jenkins was very strong. Mm-hmm. I think that, I was real interested to see. One of the questions was, they had questions obviously about ICE and also about the homeless. The homeless bill, because we're not allowed to have homeless people now, that we're going to start arresting them. And, every one of them was very much, oh, no, we don't believe in that. We're not going to do it. It's like, oh, no, but that's the law. That is the law that's passed. Can you say that and Flores talked about, he was on some organization or of police chiefs, and that they fought against this bill. And it's like, well, you lost, and I know you find it repugnant, and I'm glad to hear that you find it repugnant, but it's the law. Mm-hmm. Are you going to openly flout a law that you don't agree with?
And what did they say?
They swore that they don't believe in it and that they are not going to enforce it.
So this is sort of like Walsh and all the people telling the guys in the military you don't have to follow unlawful laws.
Right.
Okay.
And so it was interesting.
Did any of them say that they would follow that law?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. So what about the people who actually work in the sheriff's department? What was anything brought up about the current sheriff?
I will say the Democratic candidates were careful. The whole point of the forum, we weren't going to go after people. That was, we're talking about you. We're not talking about other people. The Republican candidate, Dave Crane, dipped his toe quite a bit and made some. He at one point he came after Jenkins pretty hard without naming him, and that was
saying that you're second in command.
Yeah,
and you see things
right.
What are you doing?
Right
to call it out.
Right,
basically. And
that was a question that was not. It was
what
at that
Jenkins
point.
Respond to that.
He didn't get a chance to because we had to explain. They weren't debating each other.
Right. Yeah.
They were, and so we had to say, stick to your own. That's not what we're doing here. And so, he didn't respond to that question.
I like debates better.
Yeah.
I'm just teasing. No,
sure. I mean,
but, yeah. I like people having to respond to those tough questions.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it on the sheriff's race. Of course, you mentioned the individuals. It's going to be very interesting to see how that race comes out. It's always this thing in politics in regard to black people, Hispanic peoples. You can have 10 white guys on a ballot, and nobody's going to say, oh, they're going to split the vote. But when you put 2 black guys on a ballot, one's in there as a spoiler because they're going to split the vote. You put 2 Hispanics on the ballot with with S for their last
or
name.
Or Z, right.
And, oh my goodness, they're in there to split the vote. So somehow we got to get past splitting the vote, folks.
Well, it was still, I think the masterful thing was running the 2 Mike Browns. That scummy as it was.
Well, we knew who was behind that.
Right. But scummy.
A former sheriff was behind that.
Politics is politics, and masterful, scummy, but masterful.
It was
worked.
masterful, but wasn't really masterful because that is really old school. Those same name candidates, people have been doing that for decades. So if you grow up in the politics of Lake County or just world politics, I mean, it goes back to Tammany. So, putting same name candidates in a race to upset the results, to dilute the vote. Yeah, that's always been. So, yeah, somebody thought they were just lucky to find a white Mike Brown. That's Okay, so then moving down, we have our Lake County Assessor's race, and LaTanya Spearman is unopposed on the Democratic side.
Okay.
County Commissioner Kyle Allen, unopposed, Democratic side. Now, let's get to the County Council.
Okay.
You have the former Superintendent of Schools for the City of Hammond, Scott Miller, current Chief of Staff to the Mayor, running against Christina Signorelli.
Right.
So that's going to be interesting.
And I believe...
And that seat is vacated by Dave Ham, who chose not to run again.
Right. And I believe that Christina, too, is also dating Ted Bilski's, or is engaged to Ted Bilski's son.
Oh, okay.
So it's all in the family.
There's a little bit of the family history there.
Yep.
For County District 2,
Lord.
you have Darren Washington.
Yep.
Current Gary City Councilman.
Yep.
Who's actually come out and endorsed Gore.
Really?
Along the McDermott line. Yeah. Now that's the word, but Darren, you're welcome to call me and tell me I'm wrong. Yeah. Toya Smith, former Highland Councilwoman.
Yep.
You have Alfredo Menchaca,
who used to hold,
County Councilman.
Right.
Ron Brewer,
current
councilman with a little bit of
baggage.
A lot of baggage.
Yeah.
There's 2 incidents, okay?
Yeah.
So he's got some baggage.
Yep.
And then you have Norman Eric Harrison, current preacher in Gary.
Oh.
And that's the same Norman.
Okay.
Harrison.
Okay.
He can sing, but I don't know if about on the count. Well, hey, let me stop. Let me be
God
quiet.
bless, right.
Less people are hugging me these days when they see me. All right. Let's go to district number 3.
Hobart. That's
All
Bilski's, right?
All right. So you have William Perryman.
The man who got caught stealing steaks from Walmart on 3 separate occasions.
He must like steak.
Apparently.
Just go to Geno's and order one, man.
But
Go to if Geno's is too high, and go to Longhorn. Go to Golden Corral. Go to what's the other place that they get steaks from? You have Glenn Johnson.
Yep, former school board member at Calumet.
But current council school board member in Gary.
Okay, cool.
So he is on the Gary School Council.
Yep.
You have David Gearman,
Yep.
Caller here to WJOB, Gary resident.
Hi, Dave.
Melinda Tyson Heyman.
I am not familiar with her at all.
Erica Lynn Castillo.
Nope, don't know her either.
And Dwight Williams, current Gary councilman.
I was just about to say.
of Dr. Vernon G. Smith.
Okay.
All right, so that race is going to be very interesting because if you have someone like Glenn in there who was just endorsed by the mayor.
Okay.
You got Dwight, who's got his uncle's backing.
Yeah.
His uncle's money.
Yeah.
And then there's that whole thing about 2 black men in a race. Do they split the vote? And does that help David Gearman?
Yeah.
We shall see.
Yep.
Okay. Then you go to Lake County District 4. That's Gene Wilson running, but that is a Republican seat right now.
Okay.
Right?
That's Linda Mulder's, I think.
So we'll see. Christine Sid, unopposed, East Chicago.
Interesting.
Representative. Now, here's an interesting mix here.
Okay.
For District number 6, you have Richard Hardaway, former
Yeah.
Maryville town council person who lost his seat in the last election.
Yep.
And you have Stephen Coach Minchuk. Now, which Minchuk would this be? Because formerly they seemed to be allies, now running against each other.
Uh-huh.
So that'll be interesting to see the outcome in that race. Now, Calumet Township Assessor Jackie Collins, safe. Hobart Township, you have Lino Maggio.
Yep.
And you have Randall Guernsey.
Oh, God, not that again. I think that they still, I remember that last election. I mean, they were on Facebook, and it was dirty, constantly yapping. Lino obviously prevailed, and I think that they still, every so often, it's like they start up and start yapping and talking trash to each other, and it's so we'll see. And
okay, well, we only have like 4 minutes, so
Yep.
let's do this.
Okay.
And then you also have for Ross Township, Leonard White, former town council
councilman.
person,
Yep.
and Angela Guernsey. So those Guernseys, they get their hands in a lot of politics.
Yep.
All right. For the Calumet Township, Ty Atkins unopposed on that side. Hobart, Erica McCauley, Fred Williams.
Okay.
North Township, you have Marguerite Muniz Olson.
Oh, I know her. Yeah.
Okay. Jesus Luis Ortiz.
Okay.
Adrian Santos, who is the current
right
Calumet North Township trustee, and Lisa Salinas Skiba. Okay.
Well, she was Lisa. Was that Matanovich?
No, Matanovich is the other position.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a different Lisa.
Okay.
And then for Ross Township, it's Eric Blackman, who's current,
Right.
and Maisha Jones. And so I'm going to get down real quick to these Calumet Township board members.
Oh, God, yeah.
Gary always sets a record when
Right.
it comes to people running for office.
Yep.
The number of people running for mayor or any position is always astronomical.
Yep.
So you have Carol Ann Seaton, Bernice Clark, Rafael Manzo, Liberto Roby, Gabrielle King, Linda Collins Brown, Bruce McKenzie, Alice Lyles, Michael Proto, Mary Ann Cantus Ritas, Robert Buggs, Larry Tillman, And then WLTH Radio's own and my bestie, Natalie Ammons.
Yay.
So put her out there. Yes, get her name out there. And then I'm just going to do North Township board members. And that's Jeff Terstra, Peter Kadick, Richard Novak, Kelly Bridges, Lisa Salinas Montanovich, and then my bestie, Catherine Thomas.
Okay.
So just putting those names out there, folks. Our time has come to an end.
Yep.
Just going to wrap it up. I do want to remind people, all those people who are out there not supporting the train, the South Shore. Well, guess what? The new service route begins on March 31st.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
So if you want to take the Westlake Corridor train, March 31st will be the day it finally begins. And there will be an invitation only. Now, that's interesting. Invitation only VIP ribbon cutting will be held March 31st with revenue service beginning afterwards at about 11 a.m.
Okay.
Now, how do you have invitation only ribbon cutting service for a public train service?
It was the same thing when they opened up the Klein Avenue toll bridge. There was a big,
But that was a private entity, right?
Yeah, or public-private.
Yeah. So this is interesting that they only have certain dignitaries that will be invited. I think that's to keep out the detractors, the negative people
Sure.
who are against it.
Probably.
To keep the protest away. They can just set up across the street. But be careful if you go to a protest and someone tells you they're the leader of the protest and meet me here and they don't show up. Just be careful. It happens, folks.
Yeah, it does. Also, one more thing I would like to point out. Yes, I could have named those names, but I just didn't want to.
That's your choice.
That's my choice. And it also, if somebody's barking at me, I'm not going to. I don't.
Well,
you're not
luckily,
gonna
I
bark at
came
me.
in on the tail end of that.
Yeah, it's fine.
But I know you can handle yourself, Michelle.
Well,
thanks for tuning in, folks. Adriana, as always, thank you for not only being our co-host, but producing as well. Because
Yeah.
we know you're over there with a lot of things going on. We want